Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And today we have our 1968 Honda CB450 K1. Just taking it out from its long winter nap. Today we're going to be changing the seat on it, but just to kind of give you a walk around, I'll tell you a little story about how we acquired it. This is the reason why we're changing the seat. This is an original seat on here, and so we just want to go ahead and take that off because it's just, I'm not riding it anymore because every time I sit on it, I crack the seat more. So I don't like that. So just a little bit about this motorcycle. As you can see, 1968, it's a really good example. You know, it's in really good shape. We've done a good bit of work to it. We bought it at auction about 4+ years ago, and it didn't look like this when we got it. The whole bike had been spray bombed black. So these side covers were spray painted black. It had real stupid high bars on it, and it was spray painted black and nobody knew what it was. So thankfully I was able to follow this auction. I followed it online. I was able to get it at a really good price. It didn't have a key. I was able to get the shipper to give me the key code off the ignition. I had the key before the motorcycle even showed up. And then we went to redoing it, right? Clean the spokes. This is a really good rider, right? I don't really like to restore motorcycles. I'd rather make them to where I can ride them and use them. So it's really good. One of the bad things about it is you see right here, looks like somebody at some point in time in its life thought it was a good idea to move it by its front fender. And you could see it looks like they just totally yanked it up right there. It popped the little spot welds on the inside right there, and it's considerably better than what it was when I first got it, but it was bad news. This and this are all original paint. The tank and the tins I repainted. Apologize for how dirty it is, but this is something I painted with Rust-Oleum paint and then spray can. So this has been spray painted with a couple of cans of Rust-Oleum paint. Wet sanded. It was color sanded several times, and then it was clear coated with 2K clear to make it fuel resistant, and then wet sanded with 3000 grit sandpaper. So it's pretty good. You know, the paint came out really good on the tank. This, all I did was remove the paint from these side covers with carb cleaner, because thankfully they decided not to sand the paint when they did it, so it just came right off. And you can see it's got a couple of little dents in it here and there, but other than that, it's really good. This one I've been gradually beating out over time. It's getting better and better. Every now and then I'll just pull the side cover off and whack on it a little bit just to get a little bit better. This one right here, if I can locate a good side cover, I'll go ahead and replace it. What I need to do on the bike after I change this seat, long term, I need to identify and locate the right exhausts that go on this bike and the right handlebars. Unfortunate thing about that is those are the expensive bits of this motorcycle. So, you know, I'm not in the mood to spend that kind of money on this bike just because it's a good rider. It's a good rider. So what we're going to do right now is just kind of pop the seat up. I've got the new one in. It finally came in today after months coming from Vietnam. So we're going to go ahead and pop this seat off. Pretty simple. I just have to pop these guys off right here. The challenge with this bike, the early ones, the seat lifts up. The early 350s, 450s, seat lifts from the back, and then after that, the seats lifted, hinged from the sides, just like they all did after that. So these guys start from hinge from there. So they're hard to find. Definitely a seat that is in. This was an original seat pan. I'm going to keep it. I'm not tossing it because if I ever were to get rid of the bike, it would go with the bike. I repainted the bottom just to keep it from rusting. Although I know the seat is not, for those of you guys who are into restoring motorcycles, again, I make pretty riders and I like to ride them. I like to use them. So I'm not so concerned about whether they're perfect. When I can, I do, but the challenge with restoring something is the moment you start changing nuts and bolts. There's a lot of nuts and bolts on these motorcycles. So it gets, and then you spend all your time trying to put it together as opposed to trying to enjoy it. So I'd rather spend time enjoying it. So apparently I should have got a socket. I would have been less on the struggle bus right here. I guess I could walk inside in the shop and go get a 10mm socket. Change my life and probably yours. Let me go do that. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this again. Sometimes it is just the right tool for the job, and I may not have the right tool. There we go. I was almost there. Okay, let me take this guy off. And then this is the new one. This is the new one right here. I mean, I think it's not, for a good rider daily seat that I'm going to use, I think it's going to be perfect. Is it, again, is it correct? No, but is it a lot better than the last one? Yes. And that's what I'm hoping for. And this one should go on considerably easier since I'm saying that now, but I should be able to hand tighten these and to get it on. But it comes all there, comes complete just like you see it. Again, it takes forever coming from Vietnam. I bought it off of eBay. A local seller in, I guess in Dallas, is the one that they corral the whole thing. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I was hoping I could avoid it, but I think I'm gonna have to take this guy off to make my life easier. Let me do that. Let me pause just for a second and get back to you. Okay, we'll use both of our brain cells now. We'll just pull off the whole bracket and then put it back on. I'll get that. Again, we'll never find that again. So let me get it while I can still see it. Let me take this whole bracket now and let's put that on here. Let me move you guys over here so you can see me mount this thing up. Workbench of a truck comes in handy. So we're gonna worry about putting this guy on right here. Let me get this guy up. So it may need some massaging. Maybe not. Maybe just some hey, how you doing to get it on. Let me get these two nuts. I'll steal a couple of the washers from before. Let's put those on here, here, here. Now that I have the impact out, I'll just zip these on real quick. Make sure I'm started. 10mm. Torque down to spec. Set that guy on right there. One of the things I like, I'll never find that. One of the things I like about these motorcycles is that Honda thought it was a really good idea to give them a kickstand. So, which I think is neat. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's just interesting, right? They needed a seat prop. That's what they used. They gave it a kickstand, which I think is kind of fun. So that and this guy. There we go. That should be torqued to spec. I'm gonna have to do some adjustment just to make sure it latches and everything. Put my seat prop back in. Make sure it latches. Seat latches right there. And then that's it. Move the 10mm out of the way so that we're good. So that's the seat replace on this 68 CB450 K1. You know, this was basically a 1 year, year and a half only bike. Came out in 1968, 1969. It's kind of a bridge year. It went from the CB450, which was a 4-speed, which they referred to as the Black Bomber, which was the KO. And then it went to this, the CB450 K1. This is a 5-speed. Went from there to this. And then after that, they went to the motorcycles that looked more like, in 1969, the CB750 came out. So the 450 that followed in 1970 looked a whole lot like the CB750, just smaller. Same stylings. This was the last year of the chrome side cover, which I'm a sucker for chrome side covers. Another thing that's not correct on this motorcycle is this badge right there. The original ones are very, very hard to come by because a lot of the ones that you see, they have the Honda, like the Honda in block letters here. They have it, but they have them with speed lines, and those came out in their plastic, like the ones on the Dream. they're plastic like that, but and they would just degrade. These were ones that a dealer aftermarket, not a Honda replacement part. They didn't replace the other ones, they just offered these. The only other piece I'm missing is the steering dampener knob, which, you know, I'm not going to find one. I'm going to have to replace the whole thing to be able to do it. So that's it. Everything else about it is it. Let's see if we can fire this sucker up. We haven't fired it up in a while, so let's see what we have to do. And make sure the fuel's on. We'll make sure choke's on for a second. Turn that on. And let me turn the choke off. No, one more time. There we go. Again, that's it. It needs, we're going to go through and do all the service on it in the coming weeks. Change the oil, set the timing, all that other stuff that we normally do. Just to go through, I just want to take you guys along with me while we're putting the new seat on. As you can see, it's not a bad looking seat. I don't mind it. I'll ride it and I'll enjoy it because it'll be a whole lot more comfortable than the other one, which was basically just metal and a little bit of vinyl between your butt and the seat. And then so we'll work on that. You got a few more things to do on this, but we're gonna ride it and then we'll keep enjoying it. Again, still looking for Honda CB450 K1 exhaust. If somebody has them out there that's not an arm and a leg, I'm your guy. But we're gonna go through. This thing definitely needs a bath. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Look forward to the next one. You guys have a great day.